Hello and welcome to another episode of Mortgage Video Mastermind, where we bring you professionals who share insight into the latest trends, tips, industry, technology, and services to help you create more videos to use in your mortgage business. Okay, and we are live. We want to welcome you to this week's episode of Mortgage Video Mastermind, where we talk about all things video and sometimes mortgages. So my name is Ginger Bell. I have one of my usual co-hosts, Scott Schang, on with me. Hello, Scott.
Hello.
Hello, and we have a very special guest today, someone who I stalk and follow and admire and love everything he's doing. And Carlos, thanks so much for joining us from Florida. And I'm going to actually just start off and let you tell a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into some of the back to basics that you're doing. I love that in the background.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. Again, my name is Carlos Ramos. I'm with Guild Mortgage. I've been in the industry 19 years, originally from Providence, Rhode Island. And I've been in Florida going on 20 years right now. So a little tidbit about me is I actually used to be a milkman up in Rhode Island. So 2 of my kids were actually milkman babies.
Oh, I love it.
But not door to door. I actually delivered to supermarkets and stuff like that. But then a friend of mine in Rhode Island, the guy who did my mortgage in Rhode Island, moved to Florida, and he invited me to come down here to learn the business. So I've actually been in the business ever since I moved to Florida.
Wow.
Nice. Very good. Well, and you talk about a story, and I love that you shared a story about yourself, because stories are so important when you're doing video. And I know you use that a lot, so we'll hop into that. But just that fact, as far as your background being a milkman, that gives something for somebody to hook onto. They're going to remember that, right? Because it's something unique, it's unusual. I love the fact that you talked about, milkman babies and things like that. So using stories like that people can relate to and remember are so important in video, right?
I agree. Totally agree. Yeah, it's always about the story. I mean, everything we do, especially, I think a lot of people in our industry that are getting into video or doing video, I think sometimes they just overthink it too much, and it just, just tell the story,
Yep. Well, and one of the things, and we were doing a little conversation before we went live, and you were talking about the fact that you go live and you're not afraid to go live on Facebook. And you shared the story about, being in the store and going down the grocery aisle. So I want you to share that story again, because I think it's important for people to understand. 1, they don't have to always talk about mortgages. And 2, you can really in any moment do a video, and it doesn't have to be 100% polished. It doesn't have to be anything that's scripted. So tell me the story about what you did with the cereal aisle.
The cereal aisle? Okay, awesome. So, and like you said, not everything has to be about mortgages. A lot of stuff I'm trying to keep it 50-50 or 60-40, unrelated mortgage to mortgage, because I mean, think about it. What we do for a living is kind of boring. It's all the numbers and all that stuff. And so when we were talking earlier, I was just giving you an example, a visual about like the supermarket. If you walk into like Publix or any supermarket, Walmart, you go down the cereal aisle, the majority of the stuff you see is on the bottom shelf is what? It's all the sugar, it's all that. If you notice the cartons, the characters' eyes are pointing up because they want to look at the kids. They want to grab the, Fruit Loops, the Fruity Pebbles, whatever it is. Where in the top shelf is the good stuff, the Raisin Brands, the corn, whatever it is, the healthy stuff, that's on the top shelf. So one day I was walking into Publix at night, and I just grabbed my phone and went live and was just trying to show realtors the comparison of what type of person do you want to be in your business. Do you want to be at the bottom shelf, or do you want to be on the top shelf dealing with some of the best customers or referrals that you're going to get, or are you going to keep staying on the bottom shelf and dealing with referrals that maybe you just don't want, they just happen to be always coming in. So you have to work your way up to get to that top shelf, so that, and the thing is, it's a visual, I'm a very visual person. So for me, if I have to learn anything new, I got to see it a few times. I got to understand it. I mean, I can pick up on stuff too, but I mean, in general, so, and I know who my audience is when it comes to social media. And I think a lot of people really need to understand who their audience is when they're making videos.
Yes.
And for me, you know, a lot of people ask, well, who's your videographer? That's it. You give me a microphone, a ring light, and a mic. And I've been doing, you know, into Facebook Live since the end of 2017. And I think I hired a professional one time to help follow me around to do some professional videos for me. But other than that, I'll go live anywhere with my cell phone. If I see something that I think will add value to the people that's following me. And my audience is obviously is realtors, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, so I think 3/4 of my friends list on Facebook are realtors.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I got my friends and family and all that stuff, but a lot of them up north in Rhode Island, and you know, they'll use me if they want to use me, but we know how that is with friends and family. But to be honest with you, I already know my audience. They're realtors. So anything I post, I'm trying to gear towards them and for them to actually share that with their following. So that's why everywhere I go, I want to make sure I have something of value for a realtor to hopefully share.
Right. So you go live on Facebook.
Yeah.
So that lives on Facebook. And then from that video, do you take that video and put it anyplace else?
Yeah. Well, when we had Instagram, what was it? It was not there anymore, but TV, IGTV.
Right.
So I used to take it from Facebook Live, download it, save it, edit it, whatever I wanted to do. And then I would put it in IGTV Live. And then I would also put it on my YouTube channel, which I'm kicking myself in the butt because I kind of wish I started YouTube back in 17.
Yeah.
So I'm still behind on that, but that's where I'll place it and then share it in everywhere else. I'll either that or I'll send the video out as a bomb to realtors on a weekly basis to say, hey, here's a video I did the other day. Maybe you want to share it out to people on the fence, stuff like that. So I'll try to get it out as far as I can, or just snip it together to maybe do a reel or TikTok or whatever it is. So I always like to repurpose anything I can for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And even if you have a video that you did a while back, like something like that, you can pull it off the shelf and reuse it, because with social media, you know, it's not always right in front of people, right?
No.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, repurpose is like it. I mean, I think a lot of people get burnt out from doing videos, which I've been there before. So if I'm off for a week, I'll go just find an older video that I did, you know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and see which one I'll look at the insights, which one did pretty well. And just guess what? I'll just put it back up. And then voila, now I'll get the views all over again and new people sharing it and watching it, because we all know Facebook moves so fast, right?
Right.
So the algorithms, all that, and I would just, you know, post repurpose stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with repurposing. So it's actually, it helps you out. So.
Well, there's
Yeah.
a reason. There's a reason why they play the same commercials over and over and over and over again. And now, if like I use mostly streaming services, so
Yeah.
you'll notice some of the streaming services, even that have commercials like Peacock or something like that, it's the same commercial over and over and over again. It what was it? The rule of threes is what it was in advertising. You have to see something 3 times to notice it once. You have to notice it 3 times to recognize it once. You have to recognize it 3 times to start thinking, I wonder if I need that. You have to wonder it. And it's like this whole big thing. But yeah, you're 100% right. Facebook is not a captive audience that is waiting for you to walk on the stage and make your announcement. It's a subway station, and there are always people coming in and out. And the timing of when you place stuff, you're rarely going to hit the same person twice.
Yeah.
The way that the algorithm works.
And most of the people, honestly, are just going to watch the replay. So they'll either see it on the watch or anything like that. So I tell, when I'm teaching realtors, I'm like, don't worry if nobody shows up for your live. It's okay, because they're going to watch it sooner or later, or see it sooner or later, and they're going to click on it. So it's important to make sure you have captions on it as well, because most people don't actually click on it all the time, but they'll read it. So I just tell them, just keep going, just keep going, just keep doing it. I mean, there's people that won't even like it. They won't even share it. They won't make a comment. But guess what? I guarantee somebody watched it. And I've been at realtor events and they're like, man, I watch your videos all the time, Carlos. I love the information. I've never even seen them make a comment or anything.
Yeah.
But the people are watching. So that's why, I think a lot of realtors or loan officers are too worried about their egos and they just want to be seen and hear all the forget all that stuff. Just do the video, put the content out there, and I guarantee you're going to be seen. Because like I've had people, like we were talking earlier about Danny, right? Like he's being seen, I'm being seen, and that's the whole point. It's just my name brand is out there, and when I walk into an event, I always get new realtors coming up to me because, hey man, I watch you on social media and let's connect. So I'm like, okay, that works.
That's an important thing that you bring up, because a lot of times we're so, especially kind of in the mortgage industry, we're kind of programmed, we're transactionally programmed, so that if I do this thing, I should have this return on investment right away. And it just doesn't work that way with feedback loops when you're creating content. And if you have one person, and I don't know what this ratio is, I know somebody has to know what this ratio is, but if for every one person that engages with your content, there are exponentially more people that feel the same way. They just won't take the action. And you notice that when you go to events, right? Carlos, you walk into an event, people start coming into you and saying, oh, hey, I watch your stuff. I love your videos. And you're like, cool. Who are you? I don't ever recall if you're on my friend list or anything like that. And so there's this real, I think once you understand that and you can get that off of your plate, because I think people quit doing videos and content too quickly because they don't get the feedback loop, they don't get that immediate feedback loop right away. But it's far more people are watching and appreciating what you do than are actually commenting on it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I actually got into video at the end of 2017. I was at a different mortgage company and my business was just like, forget it. It was just going down the drain. Like my wife was like, maybe it's time to get out, And so I said, no, just let me get one more shot. And I ran into this girl, coach that was talking about Facebook Live, and I hired her. And her name's Trish Lito. She's not coaching anymore. She's out of the business. She's actually an underwriter. And she was just telling me, like, showing me how to do this, stand here, talk and like, honestly, my first videos, they sucked. Like, they're just bad.
They all do.
Like bad.
All of our first videos.
Yeah, suck. They were just bad. I mean, my wife's a hairstylist. I had her coming home from work. This was before ring lights. We had the dining room light. She's trying to hold it this way, and I'm staring at the computer the camera like a robot. Like, it just was so bad. My coach was like, delete that, please. That's like the worst thing. So she got me to the point where it was like, I just didn't care anymore. Like, she said, just stop overthinking it. Just be you. Whatever comes out of your mouth is going to come out of your mouth. Now, I don't swear a lot on video. I try not to, but I mean, I'm just saying in general, just be you. And I think that's all everybody wants to see. And I met a lady in person and she's like, wow, you're just like your videos. I'm like, well, why wouldn't I be? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a paid actor. I'm a loan officer. So I don't sit there and read scripts all day and get paid to act. I'm not Brad Pitt. I mean, come on, look at me. So, I mean, and people are like, oh yeah, just be yourself. Yeah, because I want you to, when I meet you in person, to know that I'm the same person that you see on the screen. I'm not fake or anything like that. I just want to talk to you. And those people that come up to me at events, they say what you said, Scott. Like they're afraid to do it. They're just afraid to do it, press the button. So they'll just ask me questions, and I'll teach anybody. I don't care, loan officers, type, whatever. I want. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it together. Let me interview you right now, and then I'll show you the basics. And then after they do their first video, now they're like, oh, this is a lot easier than I thought. I'm like, yeah, because you guys are overthinking it. They're too worried about how they sound, what they look like. Yeah. All the basic stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, 100%. And you really touched on a few things here that we talk about a lot. So I want to draw attention to it. Is the first one is authenticity. It really is just, you have to. And the other thing is that your first videos suck. And the way that I kind of describe it is your first videos are always going to suck. You have to power through the suck. And then one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to get comfortable or you're going to stop caring. And for me, it was, I stopped caring, just like you. It's just like, this is just me. And I've had that same experience, Carlos. And to this day, it's one of my more proud moments where somebody wanted to interview me. And at this point I was blogging. It was probably 2008, 2009. And the first thing that they said after we started talking, they were like, man, you sound exactly like you write. You sound, and I was just like, wow, that is like the coolest thing ever, because I don't care how I write. My grammar's not perfect. I write the way that I speak, and I do videos the way that the way that I speak. And it's so much easier being yourself than it is to be that person you think should be the person on video, right? Like, that's super stressful to think that you have to be a character and you have to be in character and you have to play this role. And what people don't understand is when you're doing video, it's interesting because video is a one-to-many medium, but it's a one-to-one experience. So we're not TV stars that are, talking in front of bunches of people. When I watch your video, you're talking to me, and you make it feel like you're talking to me. And it's the same experience as if we were to meet in Starbucks, or whether you recorded a video in Starbucks, I'm going to get the same Carlos. And that's going to make all the difference in the world. We always make it out. What was it? There's a great quote. Things are never as bad as you think they are, and they're never as good as you think they will be. They just are.
That's what it is. So a couple of things. First of all, we have a question I want to get to, and then I want to, Carlos, have you talk about how you use the whiteboard in your videos, because I think people, obviously if you're going to do a video about mortgage, we have some numbers, we have some process, we have some things like that. And so people get hung up on how to explain some of those, details, and you do a great job using the whiteboard. So I want to make sure that we talk about that. But before we do, Kirk has a question, which is for 5 to 10 minute videos being recorded on your phone, and he has an iPhone. Where do you transfer that video to so that you can upload it to the social media channels? And then he just says he has an iPro 13. And he says when he's loading it on directly onto Facebook page from the phone, he says the video clarity is pale. So 2 questions in there. So if you want to answer the first one, as far as where do you upload it to go to all the social media channels?
Okay, that's easy. Dropbox. So I will save the video to my phone and upload right away to Dropbox. So I have the Dropbox ready, and I have a marketing girl that helps me with my Instagram reels, so that she'll go in there and grab the videos and upload it. I do everything from the iPhone. Some videos will come out a little lighter than others, so what I try to do is I kind of wait to post those, I guess, because I'll see if maybe it just happened to be that upload it just didn't transfer good enough. So I'll delete it and then I'll just try it again and see what happens. That's all I do. I don't have a camera like, most people have. They'll sit with a big old camera in front recording. Everything for me is really my phone.
Well, and the phone is so great. I mean, honestly, the 13 Pro, people, they're shooting movies on it, to kind of hop on that. So you can use Dropbox. We use actually a Google Drive, we upload it to, or you can use, for our clients, we have a WeTransfer, which is just a link that allows them to directly upload it. And so that's the thing. You have someone that manages your social media. We manage for a lot of our clients, and we use a platform that you can schedule it all out. So some people use Hootsuite. We actually happen to use Sendable. And so when you do that, you can actually schedule it out ahead of time. You could shoot all your videos for a week or even a month, and then plan it all out if you use a platform and you can put all of them in there. So Kurt, that's one of the things. as far as managing, because it is hard when you're directly loading, you know, up to Instagram and up to Facebook and up to LinkedIn and up to YouTube and up to Google page. I mean, all those things. So I'd really recommend looking at using a platform like a Hootsuite or a Sendable to manage it. We switched from Hootsuite to Sendable last year. We probably researched 20 different companies and spent about 6 months researching different platforms, but it makes it a lot easier. And so same thing with the video clarity. It's like, you know, sometimes if you're on, you know, the Wi-Fi, it can be better. It's an upload speed, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. Wi-Fi, all that makes a big difference. Lighting, like all that makes a big difference.
Yeah, you never know what it is. Okay, show us what you got as far as using that whiteboard behind you.
All right. So for me, I started doing the whiteboarding like back in 17 again. And I just feel I'm a very visual person, like we spoke about before. So why not use this to get some messages across to people? Now, I think a lot of people on this will overthink this as well and want to do like a whole like
diagram,
algebra, like whole. No, you don't need that. Like this right here, just keep it basic. So when I use that, I will always get it ready first. So I don't want to stand.
So you write it out first. So you put like 1, 2,
yeah,
3.
I put everything, I put all the points out. I don't want to stand here while I'm recording a video and you see in the back of my head, which I got my bald spot, but you know, I don't want to be here doing this because that's going to take time away from your video. Right. So I'd rather be like Vanna White, posting it and pointing on, like last night's video was about what's included in a mortgage payment. You know, we're talking principal and interest, homeowners insurance, taxes, PMI, maybe HOA. And I have it listed right here. So I would just do that video and just say, voila, here's what's in it. And I try to keep my videos 3 minutes or less.
Perfect.
Because if I'm standing here, it's going to go longer. So this right here is great because I can be standing here pointing this out. And like I said, I know my audience is realtors. So they'll come on and say, oh, this is a great video to share over to, I have some clients. So they'll take my video and DM it to their clients or share it to their page regarding information. So that's why I say go back to the basics, because a lot of people don't get it. Like, okay, if you're at a company, a Guild Mortgage, here's my credit score requirements. And I just list the credit score requirements, you know, and boom, that's a 3-minute video, 2 to 3 minute video. You know, what's in a mortgage payment, what's in credit, what's a down payment assistance, you know, and not be like too elaborate, but just keep it simple.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, what's an EMD? EMD, earnest money deposit. Here's how much the percentage, an average percentage of an earnest money deposit is. You know, what's an FHA loan? Well, this is an FHA loan, and just keep it FHA, keep it VA, keep it conventional. You know, like, and this right here is your friend, because people are visual like myself, and they're gonna want to see it. Now, I like to use blue mostly. Blue's I will put the title in black always, but if I have anything on the board, I really like to use blue. Blue's such a neutral color, and you know, I like blue.
Pops.
Yeah, pops, you know. Like if you ever see the color chart, you know what I'm talking about. Like there's a color chart. So I like blue. And then because red is just, you know, red's kind of negative, you know.
Well, it's a sign of stop. So blue's very safe.
So if I use red,
green's another good one because it tends to get people visually as far as the action of going. I mean, there's a whole, I know our friend Mark Madsen did tests one time as far as different colors of buttons that people would click on. Interestingly enough, orange, according to Mark Madsen, is the button that is most often clicked on.
Really?
Well, look at Amazon. Amazon, all the buttons are orange.
Yeah. And what I like to do too with this is I like to promote it in advance. So I'm big,
okay. So tell me about that.
I'm big on either an hour or a half hour before I'm going to go live. I will make a regular generic post saying going live at 8 and then whatever my title is, you know. So going live at 8, what's included in a mortgage payment, you know. So why I do that is just to maybe get the algorithms going. If my followers are on Facebook, you know how we pop on and pop off, pop on and pop off. So somebody sees, hey, Carlos is going on an 8. then hopefully they'll come back and watch me at 8, or they'll get notified. And the other reason why I do that too is a lot of my followers now know that usually during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8 o'clock is my spot. Like that's like, I've been so consistent at that time frame, that a lot of people know that Carlos will go live at 8 and they'll come back and watch my videos. And so I like to promote in advance always. Hey, I'm gonna, like when I do an open house, hey, I'm going live at noon with so-and-so. Stay tuned, keep an eye out on the open house video I have coming up. And then right at that time, go live. Now that's the other thing. If you're gonna go live and you tell your viewers in advance, you're gonna go live at a certain time, you better go live at that time or your viewers are gonna keep going on by.
Yep.
So,
well, and I love the fact that you promote it first, because that's the thing. It gives them 2 touches, and then you can do the follow-up afterwards. Hey, in case you missed it. So you're doing one video, you're going live, so you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to upload anything. You're promoting yourself. Okay, see me at 8. You do the 8, and then you follow it up. So that's 3 different touches that you get for one video.
correct.
And then take that recording. And I love, you said, in your videos, you instruct your realtors to share it. People will do what you tell them to do if you tell them to do it.
Yeah. And always reply back to everybody's comments afterwards too. Like
Yes.
if they like it, say, hey, thanks for liking my video. Or if they say good job, thank you. So you always want to make sure you want to engage with them, because that's important, because they're your followers and they took the time out to watch your video. So why not, thank them for that? So
Absolutely.
There's again, Carlos, you just dropping so many nuggets right now. You're like a leprechaun with a hole in the bottom of your
yeah, you
pocket.
don't want to shut me up.
So I want to highlight a couple of things that you said that I don't want people to gloss over. The first thing is, you're talking about the difference between viewers and an audience, and consistency creates audiences. So you have a following of people that expect to see you, and they're going to feel like something's not right if they didn't catch one of your episodes, right? They're going to go back and look for it. So it's that audience building that comes from consistency, and you have a time slot. You said, that's my time, and they know that. The second thing is the going back to basics. I hear so often, well, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to do video about. The stuff that we take for granted is what every new borrower needs to know. And that is who our audience is credit scores. Oh, well, everybody knows what credit score. No, everybody thinks that that they need a 20% down payment. Like that's the reality, and not all this other stuff. And then the third thing that you do that is absolutely brilliant is by having the whiteboard. Now when you talk about sharing, your agents can share a screenshot of the information on the board and give them a link to the video if they want to see the explanation of it. Because if you just hand people a video, like, what's funny is I love doing video, but I hate watching videos because I don't know what's going to come up. And I'm like, I get distracted and I'm not paying attention. It's a 3-minute video. I was with you for the first 7 seconds. Then an email came in, but if you have this picture of the information that you're talking about, that's going to capture people, and they're going to say, okay, I want to know how he came up with that thing. So there was, you are doing some really, really great best practices that, you just say it so naturally, but those are really, really important fundamental best practices that are going to keep a loyal following and a loyal audience. And now when something happens with the market, like we have a big change, you have an audience of people that count on you to help decipher the world around them because of your consistency and your transparency and your and just your genuine.
It's like something you said earlier, like the followers will start looking up, like you said, looking for you to give them the information out there. Not everything has to be mortgage related. It could be coaching tips, stuff that I learned on my Elevate coaching, a book I read, all kinds of different stuff. I think everybody thinks we have to be talking about mortgage all the time. I don't want to talk about mortgage all the time. I rather like interview somebody or do a quote or talk about us, like you said, Ginger, we were talking about earlier about a story about what just happened with a client. And that's our content, right? How many of us talk to people throughout the day pulling credit didn't work out? What was their story? What happened? Here's
Yes.
what you can do to avoid this. Like the hooks are important. So it's all kinds of stuff. And we just have the content there, we just overthink it. I like to try to I try my best every time I think of an idea or something happened. I try to write it down quick because I'm getting older. I'm forgetting things. So I like to try to write it down, put it in my notes. I'll text myself. I'll wake up at 4 in the morning. Ask my wife, she'll tell you. So, and just think of ideas because I'm like, oh, this would be a cool idea to share out there with people or just show a realtor, especially what's going on with interest rates and all that stuff. Hey,
Yeah.
why? Why is this happening?
Yeah.
And don't be yelling at me because the Fed did what they did. I don't work for the Fed, so I'm just trying to relay the message out to you guys and do that. So that's what
And
I
mix
guess
it
what I'm
up
doing.
too, because you said earlier as far as the mix that you do. So what percentage do you do just talking about other things besides mortgages compared to actually the back to basics and the explainers?
Yeah, so I like to interview. I really like interviewing realtors, and I give them 3 questions. I ask them 3 questions. That's it. Go over it and try to get that message out. So that's important because I really want people to meet like, here's people I work with, here's people I talk to. So let me introduce them to you, my viewers, my followers. That's important. Events, any events going on, local events are very important. If there's something out there that's happening that is good for the family, that maybe you want to share out, like 4th of July stuff, Memorial Day stuff, beach stuff, there's just so much we can go on and on. You guys are pros too. So like there's just so much we can talk about that's not mortgage related.
Yep.
Like you go to a nice dinner at, say, over here we have Ocean Prime or whatever, and you'll get engagement on that better than you get something on this.
Yeah, it surprises me sometimes the engagement you'll get on some things, and it's like,
Yeah.
really, that's it?
Yeah.
So,
It's crazy. Like if I go to the beach with my wife and
yeah, you're good at that. And
if
people
I do a
feel
short
like they
video
know
at the
you.
beach. Yeah, I do a video at the beach and that gets engagement. Sunsets like that, forget it. People love sunsets.
Scott can tell you all about that. We had
Yeah.
a friend of
Yeah,
Scott's
Julie.
son.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did that. We need to
Yeah,
get
she-
Julie back on again.
Yeah. And by
Yeah,
the
that
way,
would
I
be
want to tell you earlier, I forgot to mention Scott and Ginger, is when I do my videos, I always have a description in there. I'm not one to just press the button and go live. And then as you're scrolling, you don't know why I'm going live. I always in my description. So when you're scrolling, you can see why I'm live.
Yeah.
And then you can choose whether or not to click it or not. But at least, hey, Carlos is talking about this in his description. Maybe I'll find that interesting and click on it and watch it,
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. Well, we are beyond the top of the hour. We could honestly sit here and talk all day with you, but we'll definitely have you back on again. I think you need to be one of our regulars because you do, so many different things we can go into conversations with.
Appreciate it.
So what's, in your best advice, you've been doing videos since 2017 when it wasn't even anything that, people talked about. What's the number one thing somebody needs to do today to get started in video?
Press the button.
I love that.
The best button on the phone is delete. So just practice. Just press the button. Look at yourself on the phone, like to get used to where you have to look, and just press the button and just do it by yourself. Who cares? Like nobody has to be around. Just hit the button, hit record, and just practice it to see what you look like and see what you sound like. And I guarantee it's going to be a lot better than what you think.
Yeah. And you can do that. You can actually do a Facebook Live just for an audience of you or an audience of you. So I'd love to have you back on to really, show how to do a Facebook Live, because I think that's where a lot of people struggle. It's like, okay, I get it. We need to do this. How do we do this? And so I think that'd be really cool to have you do that. How do people follow you? And I'll make sure and drop that in our links below too.
Yeah, they can follow me here on Facebook. Of course, just look me up and Carlos Ramos. That's what John Smith, the Spanish names I know, but just type in Tampa And then on Instagram, I'm under Tampa Bay Mortgages. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the two best way. Or if you got questions, just DM me. Man, I'll be more than happy to answer anybody's questions. I love helping people with the video. I just love video. I just think it's where we should be at. It's just a matter of everybody getting back into it and realizing they have to do this.
Yeah, need to be seen. Carlos, thank you so much. We
Thanks
loved
for
having
having
you
me.
on. It's great seeing you, Scott.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Carlos.
And for those of you who are watching, make sure and tune in every week. We are here on every Wednesday, unless we're all traveling. So make sure and tune in, and you can find out more and share us at mortgagevideomastermind.com. So thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Bye now.
Bye.